In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4, verse 39, a storm is tearing at a small boat in the dark, and Jesus stands and speaks 3 words to the wind and the waves: "Peace, be still." We love that verse for the calm that comes after it. But I want to begin 1 verse earlier, in the part we skip, where the storm is still real and the water is still pouring in, and Jesus is asleep. If you have ever had a panic attack, you know that boat from the inside. The heart slamming, the breath that will not come, the absolute certainty that you are going down. And somewhere underneath the fear, a quieter cruelty, the thought that a believer who really trusted God would not be drowning like this. So you carry 2 storms instead of 1, the panic and the shame about the panic.
So let us be honest before we are comforted. The disciples in that boat were not faithless cowards. They were experienced men on water they knew, and the storm was genuinely trying to kill them. Tonight, I do not want to scold the fear out of you, as if the body obeyed orders. I want to sit in the boat with you while it is still pitching and show you what the storm cannot tell you, because it is far kinder than what you were told.
A panic attack is a storm that happens inside the body. Deep in the brain, an old alarm meant to save your life misreads calm water as a flood, and it floods you with the chemistry of survival. The heart races to outrun a threat that is not there. The breath shortens, the hands shake. That is not a moral failure. That is a smoke detector wired by God, going off over smoke that is not fire. And here is the thing the storm hides from you while it rages. A panic attack feels exactly like dying, and it is not killing you. The wave crests, terrible and total, and then, always, it falls. The body cannot sustain the alarm forever. It is built to ring and then to tire. The feeling of drowning and the fact of drowning are not the same thing. The water in the boat is real. It is not tonight, the bottom of the sea. Hear this plainly, because someone needs to say it to you. Jesus did not stand up in that boat and rebuke the disciples for feeling the wind. He stilled the storm. He did not shame the fear. Your racing heart is not the measure of your faith, any more than a storm at sea is the measure of a sailor's courage. It is a body doing its frightened work in weather it was never meant to face alone. The hardest part of that story is not the storm, it is the sleeping. Lord, do you not care that we are perishing? That is what they cried, and it is the oldest prayer of the anxious heart. It can feel, in the middle of a panic attack, as though God has his back turned in the stern, while you go under. But his stillness in that boat was never the same as his absence from it. And this is where grace stops being a slogan and becomes a practice. You learn, slowly, to ride the wave instead of fighting the water. To name it, this is panic. It is loud, and it will pass. Sometimes weathering the storm means prayer. Sometimes it means a friend, or rest, or a doctor, or medicine that quiets an overactive alarm so you can hear the one who is still in the boat. None of those is a failure of faith. Every one of them can be a gift from the God who made the body. Remember what he actually said. Not, "You should not have been afraid of the wind," but "Peace, be still."
same voice that quieted the water is near to the body that cannot seem to quiet itself. He was in the boat the whole time, closer than the storm, sharing the very same dark and the very same waves. You were not being punished by your own nervous system. You were being kept alive by it, in a world it was never meant to weather alone.
So when the storm rises tonight and the heart begins to race, try not to add the second weight. Do not reach for the verdict that says this means your faith is small. Reach instead for the truth. This is my body's storm, not God's judgment. And breathe slowly and let the wave crest and fall, because it always does. The water is loud in the boat. It is not the final word over your life. And on the nights when you cannot still it on your own, when the wind will not drop and the dark feels total, let that be permission, not shame, to reach for help. The same grace that meets you in prayer meets you in the doctor's office and the therapist's room, and the steady hand of a friend at the oar. God is not offended by the help He Himself provided. He is in all of it, the way He was in the boat. So rest if you can. The wind may be loud tonight, but His grace is louder, and it does not rise and fall with your heartbeat. The storm is real, and the fear is real, and the one asleep in your boat has not left it, and will not when the waves are high, and not when the morning finally comes. Your panic was never the measure of your faith. Grace is, and grace remains.